Hey, what's going on, everybody?
This is Morlazan. I'm bringing back another some Malta gameplay. On this game, I'm not going to so much feature Malta and what Malta is capable of, so much as I am going to show you why you shouldn't get tilted by this civilization. Okay, so here I am. I'm playing against a Lakota player called Ashif. Ishif. We're just gonna call him E. So E's playing Lakota. I'm playing my Malta that I like to play. You probably just recently watched my latest Malta 2v2 video that I have posted up on my YouTube. Showcasing Malta and what they do really good. Taking a sip of my coffee here. But anyways, this is a really interesting game. Because this Lakota player is actually not doing too bad, but for whatever reason, he actually gets very tilted on the fact that I'm playing Malta. And we're gonna see this a little bit into the game here. We're just doing our opening. I'm doing my standard Malta opening. I'm gonna build a house here soon. I'm building my TP, I'm dropping my TP, and I'm chopping for the wood. So in my previous video, I accidentally said you get 300 wooden crates. You actually get 200 wooden crates. So because you don't go pop, like I've got 2 villagers in queue right now, and because I don't go pop capped immediately, I go ahead and instead of making the house and then chopping for a TP, I immediately just drop down my TP and then I chop for the house. So you can see that I overchopped by 9. That's not a big deal, but now I'm getting everyone on food for the age up. Um, but yeah, so you start with 200 wood crates. So I use the 200 to go ahead, get my TP, and then I build a house. This is my 1v1 deck. This is the I want to say, let's see. Yeah, this is the current 1v1 deck that I use right now. We've got the 3 settlers, the German Tong, Merchant Republics, Court Constructions, 700 wood, 700 gold, Trip to Jerusalem, the Papal Bull, Hospitality. So this is my official 1v1 deck right here. I really like this. And I don't go for the I don't go for the Victoriosa card. Um, it just, in my opinion, I would just, because I age up with the TC, I can send a TC covered wagon. Sure, it reduces the cost of villagers, but in my opinion, again, because Malta's military units are so pop heavy, I'm not really worried about having 99 vills. You can say I'm wrong, that's fine. This is how I play, but I really try to save that pop for my actual military. So I only typically get like 50 villagers. So I'm not too concerned about villagers cost decreasing. But here I am. I'm going for the age up. Lakota player. Let's see what he's doing. He's getting his villagers in queue right here. Pretty standard. Well, no, actually, not really standard. I see a lot of merc play here. So he's trying to do some kind of merc timing attack here. So that's not very standard, but otherwise, other than these 2 cards right here, that the rest is pretty standard. Like you see these axe riders, see these Wakina rifles. All this does is it sends axe riders and sends Wakinas, but then it also gives them a buff. So like this increases axe rider HP by 20%. This increases Wakina rifles by 20%. So not really a merc play, just kind of like just a paid upgrade card that you also get units with. So those are actually 2 pretty good cards. So here I am. I should be aging up here very soon. I'm gonna go up the quartermaster, the infamous quartermaster for the 400 wood, and I'm gonna immediately put my villagers on wood to chop for German tongue. Let's see if he's aging up. He's aging up. He's going with the chief. The chief is the equivalent of the quartermaster for the natives. So if you see them going up with the chief, it's because he's going for 400 wood also. The chief's going to give him 400 wood that he can utilize, and he's also chopping. We'll see what he's chopping for here. What's his next card? He's probably going to save that for age 2.
Ready.
Don't think he wants to take that. He's not going to take it. I do think I end up popping this cheetah and getting it. And because he's helping me kill it, I decide not to pop it. So yeah, so here's like a nice little battle. I'm right on top of it, ready to get it, and there it goes. I get it. He's not
Commander.
gonna want to take that fight. Yeah. Chopping was immediately ready for the German tongue, so great transition. Now, this is something I also do different in my 1v1s. Again, this is something that I'm still developing. I love my Malta, guys. I love Malta, but they're not in a great place right now. But I definitely love my Malta. I go ahead, just because they're already on the wood, I just go ahead and chop my another 100 wood real quick just to drop a house. Because why not? Like, why not? You know? He's chopping still. He's probably going to drop a TP with the wood that he's chopping with. And there it is. There's the TP. Okay, so I get my 100 wood over chopped by, a little bit. Again, nothing, no big deal. And I'll probably use that to drop a house. Quartermaster comes in. His chief comes in and you can see that he gets wood for aging up the chief. I got wood for aging up the quartermaster. I am sending in German tongue. Here comes German tongues. There's my settler wagons. I'm going to put my German tongue commandery. Again, guys, if you're not familiar with the commandery acts like a stable and an outpost. So I'm going to plop it right here defensively. I've got my hunts pretty well tight into my TC area. Grabbed XP treasures. In my previous video, I told you my treasure priority is XP and wood. I get XP and wood. The reason why is because early wood helps you get your German tongue faster, or it helps you build houses, and XP just helps you get your shipments faster. So I am sending in the coin. I am going to go for a fast fortress. I'm pretty much doing a naked FF. I've got my commandery to defend me. I've got my TC to defend me, so I'm not too worried. I am checking. I'm trying to scout for a forward war hut. I don't see a forward war hut, so I'm pretty confident I can naked FF at this point. So I'm not too worried about it. He did convert one of the treasure guardians, so he's doing a little bit of scouting himself on the treasure guardians. Here comes the gold. I'm probably gonna. There you go. So once I hit like 500 or so, I should be moving them to food. Here very soon. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna shoot. I'll probably shoot this giraffe with the settler wagon, and then move everybody to food right here once they collect that. Let's see what my opponent is doing. So he's getting axe raiders, and he's sending coin himself. I think he goes for a fortress age if I'm not mistaken. But he went for semi FF, and I went for naked FF. So that is the big key difference here. I'm still just exploring. So here he comes in with some axe riders, looking to do some raids. But again, I've done a great job with getting my hunts pretty close to under my TC. So he's not gonna be able to do a whole lot right here with this raid. And this is very important as Malta. With any civilization, really, with any civilization, you should just get your hunts under your TC. But with Malta, definitely, because it's just so much harder for you to really get going with like your sentinels and your hospitallers. Okay, so he is building a forward war hut here. Let's see what he's doing. He doesn't have an X card yet. And there I go. So in my previous video, in my premiere video I did in my 2v2, I sent Wignacore constructions while aging up. This time I go ahead and I just straight up send hospitality. What hospitality does is it arrives fast, my next age up is faster, and all of my hospital upgrades are cheaper. So upgrades adds minus 150 coin cost, upgrade adds minus 150 wood cost. So upgrading my sentinels and hospitallers are going to be much cheaper with this card, and I'm going to age up a lot quicker. So there it is, I popped it, and this is going to age me up a lot quicker. You can see I'm just denying that hunt. My commander is shooting at him. I had a few settlers in TC to shoot at him just to keep him off, keep him away. So yeah, he's sent his 4 villagers, 700 coin, and 5 villagers. That's what he sent so far. And now he's sending the Great Hunter. This right here is an amazing eco card for the Lakota. A villager gather rate bushes 25%, gather rate berry bush by changes gather yield by 10%. So it increases your gather rates by 25% and your yield by 10% for berry bushes. So that's actually a really good card. That card makes your eco for food really good. But even if you gotta go to bushes, you actually as Lakota you gathered from bushes very well too. You know, it's not too bad. So here I am. I'm already aging up. We're at 8 minutes. That's a pretty good age up time. Probably could have been better, but I think that's a pretty solid fortress age. So I'm gonna plop down my TC right here, and the reason why I'm plopping it down right here is because when I do send Wignacourt again, it's going to give me that bonus for 20% gather bonus around my ranged buildings. So my TC is considered a ranged building because when you put villagers in there, it shoots. So when I finally do want to go for this mine, I will still get the bonuses, the gather bonuses. I'm getting my settler wagons. There is. I'm queuing my first 4 sentinels. He's aging up now. Good call by him because I aged up. He should go ahead and age up too.
Ready.
Now look at my explorer. 815 health compared to his explorer 750. And the native war chiefs are known for being pretty beefy. So this Malta explorer, he also benefits from the 2% shipment HP buff for every shipment. So that's just really nice. And look at these sentinels, 186 health. Your standard musketeer comes with 150. These bad boys are coming with 186. I know he's still looking for that raid. I can kind of see him right here. So I am going to go ahead and get this fixed gun because I just want to secure my defensive position. I just really want to secure that defensive position. I don't want him to be able to get me. But he starts to get tilted. I want to talk about this real quick. He does start to get tilted. I'm not going to lie, guys. Malta turtling is kind of a pain in the butt, right? Because here I am, I've got a commander, I've got 2 TCs, I'm sending in a fixed gun, I've now got a group of sentinels. So if you're playing against Malta, especially in the lower ELO, and you're having a hard time beating Malta, what I highly suggest, which is what he was doing, but didn't realize it, take map control. Look at this. He's got 1, 2, 3. He's got 4. That might be 5. That might be 2 together right there. So maybe like 5 and then 6. He's got all these. He could even take this because right now I am hard turtling. So he's got 6, 7. He's got all of these resources. He's got tons of mines. If Malta is turtling like this and you can't find a way to break their defenses, take map control. Take a second TP. And age up. Just keep aging up. Age up to the point where you can get mortars. Look, Malta has the most difficult time right now dealing with mortars. And you might say to yourself, oh, we'll just get Colves. One, Culverines do not have the same range as mortars. Two, my units are only really good with this aura buff right here. So for me to have to come out away from my buildings, I lose that aura buff, which means my units are now not effectively worth 2 pop. They're not really worth 2 pop, especially this early in the game. So if you're finding a hardcore turtling multiplayer, take map control and go to industrial. The moment you get mortars with like 2 colves of your own, you win the game. There's not a whole lot Malta can do against early mortars. And I try to explain this to him too at the end of the game. Unfortunately, the recordings, the replays, they don't really like show the chat after someone resigns. But he's very salty. He's super salty after this game, and I'm trying to explain to him why he could have won this game. Because Malta is easy to beat, and I think some of the higher ELO players have already figured that out, which is why a lot of players are demanding slightly more buffs to Malta. But the lower ELOs, I could see how they might be struggling against a Malta player. But the best I can say is if they're aging up, age up with them, and just take map control. Because I rely on my little turtle. I do put my fixed gun defensively. I put it between my commander and kind of my TC here. That way it's not as easy for him to get up under it, because as we all know, the weakness of the fixed gun is they have a minimum range. I think the range would be like here, right? Like if you get as close to the fixed gun, it will no longer shoot at you. And honestly, Cav can do that very well. Cav can get right under the fixed gun super well, and then you don't even have to worry about the fixed gun anymore. You just got to worry about whatever military units I have. Now, I wouldn't recommend pushing up on this because, again, I've got a whole commander, I've got a TC, 2 TCs, I've got my fixed gun. So I've turtled very hard here. And you might still see some of his chat here, but He's coming in. I'm taking these pop shots. He is losing units. He should know better by now that he needs to just stay back, but he doesn't. Let's kind of see what his thought process is. He's still queuing villagers. I do appreciate that. He's got his market down now. He's massing. He's doing everything correctly. All you boring game. So there it goes. So you can already see he's getting impatient. And honestly, I am taking away Lakota's biggest strength, and that's to raid. Everyone knows Lakota is one of the best raiding civilizations because of the speed buff that the War Chief gives to his military units. But look at this map control he has. All he needs to do is just mass his cav and just keep running around my base, doing exactly what he's doing now. Because eventually I'm gonna run out of food. Like look how closely I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 giraffes currently eat. I've got my berries, but that's it. He's completely taken map control here. I'm down to my last safe mine. Here soon I'm gonna have to try to push out. So he just, all he needed to do was just to continue taking map control. I would have liked to have seen, if you're playing Lakota especially, Lakota gets super tilted by the super defensive gameplay by the Malta. You don't need to be. You have everything going for you. I would drop a couple TPs right here. I would drop like a TP right here just for scouting purposes. And then I would just continue going around the base with your cav, just like he's doing. He's denying me from expanding out, and that's perfectly the way you do it. So here I am, I'm going to H4, he still isn't going to H4, and Lakota actually gets mortars in H4, so he should go to H4. Or even Tashunki would work perfectly against this. And here he is, he's going to lose more units. But as you can see right here, the mortar's not shooting at him. But now they're out of that minimum range, so it's going to shoot at him again. Here I am, the industrial, and there it is. So I just really want to talk about this game some more, okay? Because Malta is not in a good position right now. I think most people would agree that Malta is kind of on the weaker side. Everyone thinks that they're, and this is mainly for the lower ELO. I'm talking about like the 1,000 to maybe 1,200 ELO range. They get very nervous about this hardcore turtle that Malta does. I'm going to tell you how to beat it right now. 1, early aggression. As long as I'm not in age 3, you can aggress me early. You know, any idle time you give me, it delays my fortress time. Just keep idling me. Just run your cav around, run your skirms or your musks around. Just contain me into my turtle. My biggest strength is also my biggest weakness. Contain me, take map control, and then once I go to age 3, and I get my fixed gun now. If you have a absolutely outrageous mass in comparison to me, and check my deck, you can see what I can send. You can see exactly what I can send. If I send my fixed gun, and you have this really awesome mass, put your infantry into stagger mode, you know, the one that you use versus artillery, and then just run them in. Run them underneath my fixed gun, and don't focus down the fixed gun. That's a mistake people make. Do not worry about that fixed gun. The moment you're under its minimum range, it can no longer harm you. It's useless. Take out my military units. Once you take out my military units, then you can start sieging down either my fixed gun or maybe a building that's near it. Again, if you can siege down a house, that would hurt me because all of my units are pop heavy. So siege down the house, siege down the commandery if it's within that minimum range. You can safely siege that down. And then once you get to the point where you can't do anything until you get out of the minimum range, then siege down the fixed gun. And that's how you beat Malta. You take map control and you learn what the Civ does, and you turn it against them. Malta has a very good defensive strategy, but it's their biggest weakness because my sentinels are 2 population sentinels, and even though that looks scary, that's with veteran sentinels, and that's with the buff I get around my building. So if you're denying me from creeping my buildings out, my sentinels are overpopulated weak musks. That's how you should look at them. They're nothing to be scared of. Rifle riders will take them out easily. Skirms will take them out easily. Falcons will take them out easily. They're nothing special until the much later ages. In the early ages, it's your game. Time is on my side. Do not give me that time. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this helps you beat Malta. If you find yourself having a hard time against Malta, if you find yourself getting tilted against Malta, and he's going for this turtle aspect, Hopefully this helps you. I know you're going to do well because I've had plenty of players take map control away from me and just maintained me in my base, and I finally just ran out of resources. And he was able to come in with a huge mass. So thank you for watching. Do leave a like, do leave subscribe if you want more videos. I hope to upload more videos. Yeah, take care, guys. Until next time.